Before TikTok, before Instagram, before even Facebook, there was MySpace. In the mid-2000s, it was the king of social networks. Hundreds of millions of users, music everywhere, and even a chance to customize your own profile with glitter and HTML hacks. But just a few years later, the platform that once ruled the internet became a digital ghost town. This is the story of MySpace, the rocket ship that took off too fast, flew too high, and crashed even faster. The year was 2003. The internet was rapidly evolving, and online communities were beginning to flourish. Amid this digital renaissance, a small group of entrepreneurs, Krista Wolf, Tom Anderson, and a handful of others, launched MySpace. Their vision was simple: create a space where people could connect, share, and express themselves. At its heart, MySpace was about personalization. Unlike the rigid profiles of competitors, MySpace allowed users to customize their pages with backgrounds, music, and glittering graphics, often to the point of chaos. It was messy, loud, and utterly unique. Within months, MySpace exploded in popularity. Musicians flocked to the site, eager to share their latest tracks and reach new fans. For garage bands and aspiring DJs, MySpace was a lifeline, a place where music could break free from the limitations of local radio and reach a global audience. For many artists, MySpace launched careers. Even pop icons like Lily Allen and Arctic Monkeys owed part of their early success to the platform's viral reach. But MySpace was much more than a music hub. It was a playground for self-expression. Teenagers spent hours perfecting their profiles, choosing profile songs, and ranking their friends in the infamous Top 8. For some, this feature was a source of drama and heartbreak. Who would make the cut and who would be left out? In these early years, MySpace captured the chaos and excitement of adolescence, reflecting the social dynamics of school halls in the digital world. By 2005, MySpace was the undisputed king of social networks. It eclipsed Friendster and other early rivals, boasting tens of millions of users and millions of daily page views. The site's influence was so profound that Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation acquired MySpace for an astonishing $580 million, believing it had discovered the future of media. For a brief moment, MySpace seemed unstoppable, a titan on the verge of changing how the world connected. Yet within the seeds of its success, MySpace harbored the roots of its own undoing. The very freedom that made MySpace appealing, the ability to customize profiles with third-party code, fonts, and graphics, also made it vulnerable. Pages loaded slowly, riddled with bugs and security risks. Navigating the site could be an unpredictable experience, a patchwork of clashing colors and auto-playing songs. Meanwhile, the platform struggled to keep pace with its own growth. Innovation stalled, and technical debt mounted. As MySpace grappled with these challenges, a new contender quietly emerged from the halls of Harvard University. Facebook, founded by Mark Zuckerberg and his classmates, offered a striking contrast to MySpace's anarchic charm. Facebook's profiles were clean, consistent, and easy to navigate. Instead of endless customization, Facebook emphasized connection: real names, real schools, real networks. At first, Facebook was exclusive, open only to college students. But as it gradually expanded, users flocked to its promise of order and simplicity. The shift was gradual at first, almost imperceptible. MySpace retained its core audience: musicians, artists, and those who cherished its creative chaos. But Facebook's growth was relentless. By 2008, Facebook had surpassed MySpace in global traffic. The tide had turned, and the world's attention shifted. Behind the scenes, MySpace struggled to adapt. News Corporation's priorities often clashed with the platform's original ethos. Executives pushed for monetization, rolling out intrusive ads and cluttering the user experience. The once vibrant site became increasingly commercial, losing its sense of community and authenticity. Technical problems persisted, and efforts to revamp the site failed to recapture the magic of its early days. Meanwhile, Facebook innovated at breakneck speed. It introduced the news feed, photo tagging, and a robust set of privacy controls. Third-party apps flourished, but within a tightly controlled framework that prevented the chaos of MySpace's open code. While MySpace was bogged down by legacy systems and a fragmented user experience, Facebook moved swiftly, attracting not just teenagers, but families, professionals, and global brands. For MySpace, the decline was steep and unforgiving. Users left in droves, abandoning their glittering profiles for the minimalist blue and white design of Facebook. Musicians migrated to new platforms like SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Advertisers followed the audience, and traffic plummeted. By 2011, MySpace had lost nearly all of its relevance in the social media landscape. The company changed hands again, sold for a fraction of its original value. Attempts to reinvent MySpace as a music-centric platform failed to gain traction. The social network that once defined a generation became a relic, an echo of a different era. But what led to such a dramatic fall? The answer lies in a combination of factors: technical stagnation, corporate mismanagement, and changing user expectations. MySpace's open-ended approach to customization was both its greatest asset and its Achilles heel. Users loved the freedom, but the lack of structure made the site unwieldy and insecure. As social media matured, people craved stability and simplicity, qualities that MySpace struggled to provide. Corporate ownership added another layer of complexity. News Corporation, a media giant with little experience in technology, prioritized revenue over user experience. Strategic missteps, such as bloated advertising and failed redesigns, alienated the very audience that had made MySpace successful. Resources were often misallocated, and innovation faltered. But perhaps the most profound change was cultural. MySpace emerged in an era when the internet was a wild frontier, full of experimentation and possibility. As social media became mainstream, users' expectations shifted. They wanted a platform that was easy to use, secure, and reliable. Facebook delivered on these needs, while MySpace remained trapped in its own nostalgia. There is a lesson in MySpace's rise and fall, a cautionary tale for technology companies and internet users alike. Success in the digital world is fleeting. Platforms must evolve, adapt, and listen to their audiences. What works today may be obsolete tomorrow. MySpace's story is a reminder that innovation must be continuous, and that understanding the needs of a changing user base is paramount. Yet for those who remember, MySpace holds a special place in the heart. It was a space where creativity reigned, where friendships were forged, and where music thrived. MySpace taught millions of people how to code, customize, and connect. It reflected the spirit of its era, a time when the internet was new, strange, and full of possibility. Today, MySpace exists as a shadow of its former self, a niche site catering to musicians and nostalgia seekers. Its legacy, however, is undeniable. The site's innovations, profile customization, social music sharing, and viral content, paved the way for the social networks that followed. MySpace showed the world what was possible, even if it could not sustain its own success. As we look back, it's easy to mourn what was lost: the chaotic profiles, the top 8 drama, the endless parade of bands and artists. But MySpace's greatest gift was the sense of agency it gave to its users. In those early years, you could be anyone, say anything, and create a digital space that reflected your true self. It was messy, yes, but it was yours. The fall of MySpace also shaped the future of social media. Platforms like Facebook and Instagram learned from MySpace's mistakes, emphasizing usability, security, and scalability. The age of glittering backgrounds gave way to streamlined feeds and algorithms. Yet, the DNA of MySpace lives on in the endless quest for online identity and connection. For a brief moment, MySpace was the center of the universe, a place where millions gathered to share, create, and discover. Its decline was swift, but its impact endures. In the story of the internet, MySpace will always be remembered as the network that dared to let users take control, and as the cautionary tale of what happens when innovation stands still. So, as you scroll through your social feeds, sharing photos and memories with friends around the world, remember the platform that started it all. MySpace may have lost everything, but it gave us the blueprint for what social media could be. In its chaotic, colorful heyday, it taught us that the internet is more than just technology. It's a reflection of ourselves, our creativity, and our desire to connect. So, what can we learn from the rise and fall of MySpace? Lesson 1. Growth without structure is dangerous. MySpace scaled too fast without solving user pain points. Lesson 2. Never stop innovating. Facebook wasn't better at first, but it evolved while MySpace froze. Lesson 3. Ownership matters. When short-term profit goals replace long-term vision, the product suffers. Lesson 4. Coolness is fragile. On the internet, today's empire can be tomorrow's ghost town. The rise and fall of MySpace is more than a story of corporate missteps or technical glitches. It's a story of a generation learning to express itself in a new medium. Though the site has faded into obscurity, its spirit lingers in every profile, post, and playlist. MySpace was the social network that lost everything, but for those who were there, it will always be remembered as the place where it all began. From 580 million to 35 million, MySpace is a reminder. In business, being first doesn't guarantee being last. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to Boardroom Biz for more lessons from the rise and fall of business empires.